We got some strange things happening with Marvel Rivals in regards to their developers. It seems like the Marvel Rivals game director has been laid off, along with the entire Seattle-based team. I'm going to break this all down inside of this video, but this situation is currently developing, so we very well may get some more information about exactly what's going on in the future. But let's go ahead and jump on into this here. All of this information is coming from XOX Leak over on X. Be sure to go and give them a follow. I'll have a link to all of these posts down in the description. Let's go ahead and start off here with a post XOX Leak made where he says it seems like Marvel Rival Games director has been laid off along with the entire Seattle-based team. He then points to a post made from somebody named Thaddeus Sasser. It looks like this post is coming from LinkedIn or something. I have no idea. And honestly, I don't know if Thaddeus is the lead of this Seattle-based team or not. But in this post, he says, "My stellar, talented team just helped deliver an incredibly successful new franchise, that being Marvel Rivals, and were just laid off." He kind of implies in that sentence that he's the lead of this team. And then he goes on to talk about one of his team members named Gary McGee, kind of talking this guy up, whatever. This is like a goodbye statement. In this post, though, he says, "A lot of our time on the project was spent as sort of an R&D branch, coming up with new level design mechanics, gameplay mechanics, and so on." He talks about how Gary was a key part in those efforts. None of this really matters. It's just kind of a long-winded post pointing out that A, they got laid off, and then B is kind of talking up one of his team members, presumably trying to land him another job elsewhere, right? The question here is, though, why exactly is a Seattle-based team getting laid off for such a successful game? Honestly, I have no idea, but I'll speculate a little bit here in a second. But I want to move on first to a post from Jack Burrows, who says, "Hey folks, well, just got laid off from my job working on Marvel Rivals. It was an enormous pleasure to work with my American coworkers who joined me in this sad culling. Just couldn't dodge that big boot, I guess, no matter how big the success of the gig." So, you know, here's a little bit more confirmation that, yeah, there's a big team that must have just got laid off. But again, we're kind of left wondering why, and all we can really do is speculate. I want to move back into the first post because here we get a little bit of a brief look into what they were doing, which is coming up with level design mechanics, gameplay mechanics, and so on, which honestly are both very integral parts of a live service game, which makes me wonder what went wrong here. You know, how much was this Seattle-based team actually putting out? Because it's entirely possible that they just weren't keeping up with the work pace that NetEase was requiring, leading NetEase to obviously look elsewhere. However, there's more to the story that meets the eye as well, because the timing's a bit odd. Apparently, NetEase is republishing Overwatch 2 in China tomorrow. I don't, first off, know why NetEase would even bother republishing Overwatch 2. Maybe they're just slimming back on workers in one area on one game to bolster workers in another area on another game. But it's really kind of crazy because Marvel Rivals is a massive success and they're surely raking in a lot of money. We have a post from Fascio Leaks over on X who's also talking about this whole situation. He says, "Realistically, Marvel Rivals is fine and could thrive for the next 5 to 10 years. And the Seattle team being laid off doesn't mean much except that NetEase is," and these are his words, "a disgusting, abhorrent, sickening management team." And honestly, I'd have to agree with them. That's mainly because I've been burnt by NetEase before. They completely trashed Once Human. But Fascio Leaks goes on to say, whatever other teams, countries, or cities are working on Marvel Rivals will just have to pick up the slack. And presumably that's exactly what's going to happen. It seems like some sort of restructure. And it's entirely possible that we're all looking way deeper into this situation than we should be. It's entirely possible that this Seattle team was strictly set up to facilitate setting up specific mechanics or specific goals, and once those goals were met, the team's use case scenario kind of falls off, so you get rid of the team at that point in time. Kind of like if you were building a house and you're hiring the framers, but once the framers are done framing the house, you're not going to continue to hire the framers, right? You're no longer paying those guys. You're not going to have the framers standing around while the plumbers are in there putting in all of the piping, and you're going to be paying both of them. It doesn't quite make sense. So it could be something as simple as the team has finished their duties at Marvel Rivals. Honestly, like I said, I don't know. This whole entire situation is developing as we speak. Is it that big of a deal? No. But at the end of the day, it is interesting that an entire team just got the axe. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. But that's all I wanted to break down inside of this video. I hope you guys all have an amazing day. I'm out.